Inflation, out of control. Taxes, raising faster than incomes. Crime, worse than ever. Someone has to do something. Well, someone is, in this November's general election. Introducing the Replacements. Fresh new candidates with the experience, drive, and courage to take a stand.
Welcome to the Replacements. I'm Paul Beran. With me is Sir Arthur Purves. Do you mind if I call you that?
Arthur will work.
Now, Arthur and I both are candidates for the upcoming Fairfax County election. It's a very important election. Arthur is actually running for the chairman of the Board of Supervisors. I would just be one of them if we happen to both be lucky to get in. But Arthur is an amazing person, and I'd like to know more about it from him. Arthur, how have you got to this point?
Well, Paul, first of all, thank you for inviting me here. I have a passion for people being happy, and our government has been making us unhappy. And I've had a good life, and I am not comfortable enjoying my good life while other people are suffering. And people are suffering because of a lot of government mismanagement. I grew up in a political household. My family moved here in 1952. I've been debating politics since kindergarten, and actually I love it. It's intellectually stimulating, especially I'm a conservative. To be a conservative in Washington, D.C., there's just nothing that's more fun. And in the last 26 years, I've been the president of the Fairfax County Taxpayers Alliance, and I've run for public office before. In fact, I've run for chairman before. It's stimulating, but people are hurting. Government is making a lot of mistakes, and we need to fix it.
Now, Arthur, you breezed through that so fast. Tell us a little bit about your organization.
Well, Fairfax County Taxpayers Alliance was started in 1956. We call ourselves the watchdog of the taxpayers' dollar. I've spoken at most Board of Supervisor budget hearings and most school board budget hearings for the last 25 years. And in fact, Paul, I was actually arrested in January of 2000 for trying to ask the school superintendent a question about his budget. The school PR person came into the conference room and said, "Arthur, we will not have a press conference with you in the room." So that was actually right after I'd run as an independent for chairman of the Board of Supervisors. And so I called up the press and I said, "Hey, you know what? I just got arrested for trying to ask the school superintendent a question." That was pretty interesting back then.
As a badge of honor. That's what that is. All right. Now, how did you get to the point where you are today, where you have just decided enough is enough?
Well, I think I decided that enough is enough back when I was in high school. Okay. It's just hard to sit idly by and watch your government be mismanaged. So, you know, let me tell you the reasons why I'm running for chairman. There are so many reasons for running for chairman, I can't remember them all. I have to write them down. Okay, so I'm running for chairman because the supervisors have been raising taxes faster than our incomes. And in return for higher taxes, crime is up, larcenies went up 24% next year. School achievements down, Fairfax County SAT scores went down 27 points over the last 5 years, while Virginia SAT scores went up 14 points. So just for example, West Springfield High School's SAT scores went down 29 points. Our gas prices went up. Food prices went up. We've had horrible inflation. They're forcing us out of our cars into electric vehicles. Those batteries are dangerous. If an EV gets in a crash and that battery catches fire, those flames are toxic. They're shutting down our affordable, reliable power. They're shutting down our power plants. They forced lockdowns on us, which damaged our businesses, and were particularly hard on the economically disadvantaged who lost their service jobs and had to cluster in crowded apartments. I'm running because we had vaccine mandates that forced an experimental vaccine with high incidence of adverse effects on people who didn't need them at the risk of their jobs. I'm running because the lockdowns destroyed businesses. Businesses have a hard time hiring now. The participation rate has gone down. Labor participation rate's gone down. I'm running because the commercial percentage of our real estate tax base in the county is at a 15-year low of 16%. Affordable housing is more unaffordable than ever. We have a youth mental health crisis, and we have a fentanyl crisis, and that's what we got for our higher taxes. And Paul, it's time to stop trying to fix things with taxes and start actually fixing the problems, and they can be fixed.
How do you fix the problem?
Well, let's start with taxes. Okay. Well, a good place to start there is to look at the bloat in the school administration. So, in the school administration, for example, they have 124. This is in the central office. This isn't in the schools. They have 124 coordinators. They have 41 directors, 107 functional supervisors, 125 instructional specialists, 120 administrative assistants, 40 teacher instructional support is what it says.
Isn't it a mindset that leads them to employing so many people to get a more simple job done?
But they don't get the job done. With all of these experts, not only did our SAT scores go down 27 points, but the schools have never, ever provided upward mobility for our economically disadvantaged students, particularly the Black and the Latino students. If you can't read, if you're in poverty as a child and you go to public schools, you'll be in poverty as an adult. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is the most crucial years in a person's education are grades 1 through 3. It's in those grades you have to master reading and master your math facts. And if you haven't mastered reading and math facts by 3rd grade, you will never catch up. Your chance at the American dream is crushed. You'll be in poverty as an adult. And with all of these $100 million of experts, they haven't been able to teach reading because they threw out phonics and they use something called whole word. They expect kids to learn how to read by looking at pictures, and you can't do that. And then they took out a arithmetic drill. Our kids don't learn the multiplication tables, and so then you can't do algebra. Mm-hmm. Is with all of these experts and functional specialists and coordinators and so forth, they haven't been able to raise achievement. They haven't been able to close the minority student achievement gap. And in fact, the school system wanted to hire outside consultants for $6 million to figure out strategies to close the minority student achievement gap. If they need to hire an outside consultant, then why are we paying $100 million for all of these administrators and specialists?
Couldn't they just go back to their previous record and see what did we do 10 years ago that enabled us to do so well for our student performances?
Make sure you elect replacement candidates this November. Look for the R next to their name.